almost everyone has like a really interesting story as to why they got into it, why, like, what motivates them, what drives them, and these things are not always discussed. And you initially got into powerlifting, German powerlifting. I mean, that's very extreme. So
No.
you came to you do very extreme sport, and it's very, very obvious that it's just no one's surprised that you were a powerlifter. So
Bro, it's pretty cold here.
where where like, do you have any moments growing up to where that led you down this path of like extreme sports, combat sports, these individual sports that require a lot of dedication, discipline?
I mean, every great story starts with getting attention from women, right? So, no, I was always a kind of athlete. I was super into sports since my grades were like average. So I have to excel it to one thing. And I really loved sport from the beginning. So I did track and field, I did soccer, I played volleyball in my youth. And then later, at 16, 17, I figured out, hey, I got a six-pack. Like just from doing team sports. And then I realized women like that. Or let's say girls at that time.
Yeah.
And that was not the biggest motivation, but then I saw a Flex magazine. I don't know if you know that. Flex magazine for bodybuilders. And I saw Ronnie Coleman. It was like, damn, this is like the freakiest. Yeah. For those who don't know, he's the 8-time Mr. Olympia. So really, really big and famous bodybuilder. And then the YouTube started. And then I got into fitness, or like kind of bodybuilding fitness. Yeah. And then I met a friend, a very good friend now, Robert. Shout out to him and his wife, Sandy. He was like a big brother to me. He showed me everything about nutrition, about training, bodybuilding. He's a professional bodybuilder. And then I got into powerlifting because a gym member who was a very well-known powerlifter in Germany saw, hey, he can squat, he can deadlift, and I think he has potential. Yeah, and then I got introduced to the head coach of the national team, Germany, and he wrote the training plans. We became friends, and he even moved to the city where I lived. Not because of me, but it was pretty nice to have him around. And then I got introduced to really good athletes, and then I grew pretty fast. Up until the point where I was in a kind of perspective team, where you hit a certain number to be in like a B team, like kind of B team. So yeah, and then you get invited to Europeans and Worlds, but I couldn't make it because I injured myself. And fast forward. So I have always been into fitness and stuff, years and years. Even did CrossFit for a little while. And then I started grappling in 2022. And the reason was I've never been tested in my life. So I had a couple of like kind of fights in clubs, but it's more like pushing and shoving and throwing, but not really like taking. I never got hit in my life like before I started martial arts. So I never knew if I can take it. I never knew if I can really beat someone, because people see your physique and think, oh man, he's a big guy and he can beat you. But it's kind of intimidating to not know, right? And yeah. And then I did grappling. And the very first day, I got smother tap 5 times, at least. It's like you don't know anything. For those who don't know smother tap, it's like basically he hugs you and pushes your head into his chest. And since we are sweating, you cannot breathe. And after the session, he said, yeah, you just had to pull your head to the side. And I was like,
you're like, no, I
couldn't even tap. I didn't know. I was like shaking and waving, and then he let loose. So
So after your first day of waterboarding, what made you want to return?
So I knew I have to come back. I cannot leave this world without knowing that I'm kind of competent in this. And I really liked it. To
Which
not
one
as
though?
well as having, but everything about martial arts is like the discipline part, the getting humbled every day. The striking is different than the grappling. Striking, if you're an athletic guy, you can hold yourself, you can get in and out, and everybody knows how to punch, kind of. So, but in grappling, if you don't know anything, you get like ragdolled from people, and he was 10 kg lighter than me, and I was even bigger than now at that time. So strength is like, not the number one component, obviously. And then when I got better in grappling, strength was a big component if you're skill-wise on the same level. Yeah, but then I got injured when we did our first. It was the same gym, but then there was a period where we did kickboxing, and I just got thrown in, and I injured myself. Oh, a guy injured me with a couple low kicks, and then I got a rupture in the muscles, and I was out for like 3 months. And then some different stuff that I don't want to get back, and then and then I decided to not move to Vietnam but fly. And then later I kind of decided to live here now.